Greetings, everyone. Rev.Hawksblood here. There's a lot of issues going on right now that are important. Are you ready to deal with them? Do you even care what they are? Well, I'm going to get into some numbers and figures and things like that as well. So if you got a pencil and paper ready, please take some notes down. You might be interested in some of these things I'm going to talk about. First off, as a president, the president should have the care of all the people in the United States as his main concern, then other countries. Not one race, not one color, not one sex, but all the people, no matter who and what they are. And they're all different, all have different beliefs, different ideas, different truth. Many people like them, many people hate them. So that's what happens when you become president. Are you ready for the challenge? Well, Trump thinks he is, and I think he's not. I'm going to get into the figures right away. Okay, 120 million voted out of 200 million registered voters. That's not good. You think if you had the right to vote, you would. Now, the people that voted for Trump was 60, I'm going to round them off the numbers a little bit, 60 million. All right. Basically, it was 400,000. And to Hillary's 60. All right. But hers was 600,000. So she really won with people's vote, meaning the people of the United States. Thanks to man's ego, the system he created called electoral votes, Trump received 304 to Hillary's 227. Now, they're based on the number of people in the state, and it's a completely ridiculous system, which was created how many years ago? How many states existed when it was created? When did Hawaii become part of it? When did Puerto Rico become part of it? When you look at the numbers of when these ideas were created, like carrying guns, when was it legal to carry a gun to shoot Native people and all those kind of things? Times have changed. We have become an incredibly more populated country. All right. Now, I want you to follow this, but like I said, when I give you numbers, think about them because that's what controls our reality. Okay, we elect people. Who elects these people? And I hate to use the word, rich assholes. Sorry, I'm against super rich people. The little that they do is just that, a little, not a lot. If all the rich people donated half of their money to make and put it back into the system, the world would be an incredible place, wouldn't it? We're going to go into those numbers a little bit later. People have to deal with words like caring, compassion, and truth. Many millionaires make their money off of poor people. Sure, rich people will pay a lot of money to do something, but poor people pay to go to a football game, basketball game, hockey game. Even to take your kids to the movies, it's $50 at least if you got 3 or 4 kids. And it could run more than that. To take them to a game, how much money are you taking away from a family? For what? A couple hour entertainment? Does it do anything for their brain, for their conditioning, for the way they live life and understand life? Of course not. So I know you're not going to agree with very much I say because I only deal with the truth. And I don't care if people like it or not. Most people don't. They want to believe in fairy tales and make-believe stories. Okay, they keep talking about the Constitution of the United States. Do you know what it says? Do you know where they got it? Do you know what it means? I mean, everybody's worried about the right to carry a gun. What about free speech? We don't have free speech. Free speech means I could say whatever I wanted to you, and I wouldn't be attacked or if I'm in a position, lose my job. The Constitution, part of it was stolen from the Native people. Really. And they were cut out of the Constitution. They were considered government property until the early 20s. They weren't allowed to use government things like public utilities. So you don't know half of the truth, and you want to believe that we are such a great country, which Trumpo keeps saying. How about killing 50 million Native people in 300, 400 years? Taking their land like they think it's their own. That's as bad as Moses bringing people to the promised land, and they had to kill the people that were already there. Do people even know that about the Bible, about the promised land? All right, I'm not going to get too spiritual, but when Trump keeps using the word witch hunt, and even the people in Congress and the people in the courts are saying, oh, it's a witch hunt. Do these people, are they held accountable for what they say? That is a prejudice statement. Due to their ignorance, meaning ignorant, there are real witches. There always have been. And they were hunted down and killed. Not many, but they were hunted down. They had to go into quiet, private things. They couldn't be active in the mainstream, or they were attacked, killed, or put in jail. Check out who was the president during those time frames. But again, it's a real thing. It's not fake. Okay? People were truly witches and still are. I know for a fact it became a religion when I was younger. One of my friends, who was a witch, and I was as well, went to court and won a case in New Jersey, making being a witch a legal religion. Because before that, they had signs on poles saying, if you see a witch, you know where a witch is, put their name on the sign and we'll burn their house down, we'll burn their car up. And they were doing that in Jersey. Jersey City, Hoboken, Union City, West New York. People were afraid of witches because they were afraid of power. So Trump, thinking you have power, yes. Is it a witch hunt? Yes, if you want to use the phrase, which doesn't relate to you. They never hurt the planet. Witches didn't go out and burn down things and tear apart things. People did. Witches worked with the planet and the earth and things. But they used psychic abilities, not money, which you have to use to control and do whatever you do. They didn't destroy the planet. Witches didn't live trying to worry about money. So when we say witch hunt, what is it pertaining to really? His idea that, oh, they went after these people that weren't witches? No, they were witches. Whether you understand that or not. All right. They don't go around destroying animals and things. I mean, there's the black magic and white magic. Do you know the difference? One's white, one's black. Yeah, but what's it mean? And then you have to go into history and all the ancient stories about the Egyptians and Mayans. Were they witches? Were they demons? What were they working with? When you work with power. When you work with power, you take away from other people. It's making everybody else slaves. The kings, the rulers, all those people had the power and the money, so they controlled people like animals. And they still do. We don't know it. We don't realize it. I'm going to go into the jobs and stuff in a little bit. But to think, what's Trump saying? He cares about making the United States great again? Oh, it became bad? Well, how about when they started killing the Native people? When they actually attacked Quakers and killed them because of their religion? And then the witches. What do you think? Great people made the United States? What country sent good people to the United States? The thieves, the robbers, the murderers, all those were sent to the United States to create the United States. I'm not talking about the Vikings. They came and went. And the Native people did work with them. Excuse me. The workforce, has it increased? What a lie. You can pull the facts of what jobs were increased and what jobs were decreased. All right, numbers. There are 330 million people inside the United States. 330 million. All right? There's 140 million workers inside the United States. That's not even half. That's not half of the population. Trump, why don't you use real figures? There are 7,500 people dying daily. There are 10,800 being born daily. In the U.S. alone, is the workforce preparing and creating jobs for those people coming in? Talk about numbers. Well, you got more jobs in the present. It's the future. Day by day, we're increasing, not decreasing. The saying, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. Of course, but how's that? It's easy to take candy from a baby. Pay yourself more than anybody else. Who makes the most money in the United States? Actors, sports players, doctors, lawyers, realtors, and fake religionists. Who makes the least? Just about every other job out there. Farmers being one of them. Caregivers, teachers, nurses, plumbers, utility people, post office, UPS are middle class. Then you got the real poor workers, Burger King people, hot dog vendors, and things like that. House cleaners, Taco Hell, the assembly line workers, even salespeople in stores. 553,000 people are homeless. 553,000 people are homeless. 65% are staying in shelters, supposedly accommodations. If you believe that, I'll tell you another lie. People are disappearing. Homeless people are being evacuated and moved somewhere, and they're not saying where. Out of every 10,000 people in the United States, 17 people experience homelessness daily in a single night. 17 people. We're talking about New York City even. Oh, this is the great year of Trump, 2018. Some people don't understand, including Trumpo, what is really causing global warming. I just got to write a letter. Sorry about that. All right. Global warming, weather changes, earth changes. They cannot see what's happening. They don't even care to look for the facts, because the facts are hard to find. How much did it change in the past few years? Everybody knows it changed greatly. But in the US, why is it not one person in politics are talking about the real problems? You could talk about cow farts, you can talk about Freon, you could talk about paper plates and things like styrofoam. How about the real problems? Underground cities, chemtrails, fracking, geothermal, the HARP system. Do you know any of these words, what they really are, and what it pertains to the life of people in the United States? Never mind the real secrets about aliens and UFOs. Well, I hope you understand our food, water, air is toxic now. Our medicines are being removed and changed to become more toxic. You better ask yourself why. Why are they spraying chemtrails in the sky? Why are they doing more geothermal? We need more energy when we got free energy. I mean, solar power, solar magnifying glasses can magnify light and make solar furnaces even. We could eliminate so many things if we were really concerned about that. The windmills are even producing problems to people, and Hawaii is fighting it right now. Now, it's not only Trump's fault. Mainly right now it is, but it's not just his fault. Everything we are told are lies, or at least partially true, if that. So Trump, does he know anything? Is he a scientist? Is he a doctor? He's a moneymaker. At least that's what he says. He can't show his tax records because he's afraid people see how much money he made or he didn't make. Why is that? As a people, we deserve to know what our president is and what kind of a person he is. If he's a rapist, do we want him as a president? Of course not. If he's a thief or a liar and a cheat, do we want him as a president? No. How did he make his money? People with lots of money get it from somewhere, and usually it's from the poor people, if not stolen or given to them. Putin asked him to release the truth, and he says if he doesn't, he will, about UFOs and including 9/11. The truth about 9/11, it's not anywhere. Why is that? Does anyone care? Do you want to hear the real news? Yeah, go to a UFO conference and listen to all the aliens that are helping us. Do what? Who controls us? You want the number? This ain't going to be a real long talk today. Who controls us? There's 14 million millionaires. Did you know that? There are 185 billionaires in the United States. In China, there's 819 billionaires. There's a total of 2,150 billionaires in the world. So the U.S. isn't number one, whether you want to believe it is or not. Now, let's go into a few more numbers before I kind of close this up. Social Security has 60,000 people working for them. Social Security. While they pay 68 million people who are collecting at least $1 trillion a year. That's at least $1 trillion, and it's much more. The number of, now here's a real bad number. The number of people working in government jobs is about 21 million people. Did you hear me? 21 million people. Federal, state, local governments. Guess who controls the world? All right. What are those jobs? How much do they make? You better ask yourself that. There's more jobs in the government, so I should work for the government. Yeah, they're planning on a government takeover. That's what's been happening, if you can see it or not. The average salary and range of a government job is $83,000 to $244,000 a year. While a typical farmer brings in roughly $240,000 a year, and they make a profit of about $60,000. And they do probably the most hardest work out of them all. I hope you're following me. Do you care? If you don't, just go out and go to a football game. Buy 10 tickets for everybody in the neighborhood. Take them all to the game with you. Really? Can you afford it? How many children do you have? I want to bring another topic in. As a president, caring about the people, I want to talk about protection for women. 30% of women report symptoms of PTSD 9 months after they're raped. 33% of women who are raped contemplate suicide. 13% of all women who are raped attempt suicide. Approximately 70% of all rape victims, sexual assault victims, experience moderate to severe distress orders the rest of their life. You think they can function well in a workforce? There are like a number about 2 million rapes a year of the reported ones. So men are not still prejudiced to women? And they want women to do more and pretend they're better and do all this extra stuff to be equal? A woman running for president has it harder than any other person in any other profession. But guess what? They have more compassion for truth than men will ever. If we ever get a woman in, it will be different. No matter how mean they sound, no matter what they are, including Hillary, there's still a woman drive within inside them, which is not inside a man. That would change. Well, one other topic. Let's talk about vets in the United States. We have 41,000 homeless living in the U.S. They are not working. They are gun fried, murder fried, everything about war. States like California, Texas, Florida have over 1.1 million vets in their own state. There are 14 million vets after the last two big wars, Vietnam and the Gulf War. That brings the number up to 18 million. How much do they make? Does a football player make more than all of them? Of course. Then probably half of them put together. So when you talk about voting and a voting system, who are you talking about? Who are these people that are voting? How many are prejudiced? I'm not saying they don't have the right to be, because people do have the right to be prejudiced, whether people want to hear that or not. Well, I'm a love and light person. Everybody has to love everybody the same. Well, if somebody stabs your family, kills your animals, and then tries to kill you, tell them you love them. Oh, they're okay. They're equal to you. Tell them you want them to move next door and you want to take care of their kids. Go ahead. Tell yourself that. We are prejudiced, and we should be. You don't let killers move into your house. You don't let a murdering babysitter stay and babysit your child. When you let people come into your country and try to take it over like certain races are doing, we should be aware of that, and people need to talk about it. Oh, I'm prejudiced. No, you're dealing with the facts. Who wants to take over the world? The Chinese and the Muslims. Do you understand anything about what's happening? Of course not. You listen to the mundane, oh, I don't watch TV. What do you listen to? I don't know. I just do what I want to do, which is sit back and do nothing and be nothing. Well, God loves you, so you're everything and you're protected by God? Really? You think the sick people who vote, that they're going to vote to cut out medical? Do you really? People that smoke, do you think they're going to vote for people that are trying to keep medical marijuana? If your person seemed to be religious, do you think they're going to vote for a different religionist person if he's kind of portray that? That's prejudice, whether you admit it or not, but that's what controls the prejudice system we have. Republicans and Democrats, two separate sides of the fence, don't agree on anything, and are attacking each other. They're not talking about what people want. We should vote who we want in or out, not them. Congress needs to be replaced, but by the laws, they're protected, so that can't happen. Only a certain amount of them can be replaced at any given time. Trump couldn't fire all Congress. So there's a system that they have to keep their sorry-ass system in place. And it's not your sorry ass that they care about. Which I'm sure you think is important. Hopefully you live in life and think you're important and you're doing what's important, what's real, why you came here, and all those kind of things. Now, how much do you know about the space program? Do you have any idea how much they spend on a space program? See, they can call it war. When they call it protection in space, it's still war. And anything they spend on war is any number they want to make. And usually it's $5 trillion. So where's all this money going? I'm trying to tell you. To the people in government that work or think they're working, that don't know what's happening inside the United States. Ask any congressman what the HARP system is. Ask them what they know about chemtrails. Ask them about what they know fracking really is. Oh, it makes energy. How? We got ignorant people running ignorant people that have money that control all the innocent people. Are you ready to take a stand somehow, some way, someplace soon? Well, think about Trump. His ego is bigger than God's, if that's even a possibility. But we can't touch him because the Democrats control one part and the Republicans control another part. You can't have people that care about people if one cares about the rich and one cares about the poor. One cares about animals and one cares about aliens. They have to have equal grounds to work with. And the numbers should... I was on grand jury duty. There was 13 people. So there was always an odd number on a voting system. So you have to look at it this way. Until we get the numbers between the Republicans and Democrats equal, meaning they both have the same amount of power, which would leave it to the people to make the final decision, will never happen. We're not moving in that direction. We're moving into computers, robots, everything to take work away from people. Trump says we're creating more jobs until we create enough robots that'll take every job that we have away from us. Are they stopping unmanned cars? Are they going to stop unmanned planes? No, they're going deeper and deeper into that. Why? I'm not going to get into it. But you need the truth. You need to understand what's happening. You can't be brain dead. Too many people are. Check out the HARP system and what it can do to a brain. Check out what the newest release of 5G, what it's going to do to this planet. It's up and running. It started on my birthday, which was on the 10th. It was created as a weapon, not as a cell phone additive. The waves can bounce through steel, metal, and stone. Any kind of metal, stone. So think about putting a cell phone next to your brain. That beam can go clear to your brain and halfway across the planet. If there was, anything next to it, it'll go right through it. So what is it going to do to us? You better start thinking about that. I mean, they already said cell phones, you shouldn't keep them near your head, ever. And now at 5G, the wave is so much stronger. And they're going to be putting cell towers everywhere. They're going to be putting thousands and thousands of satellites in space to boost that signal. If you don't think it affects anything, just take a magnet. Put two magnets together and put them over island filings. Watch what it does to them. It'll change the energy on this planet completely. Birds and animals live by the vibration of the earth itself. I mean, birds fly south. They used to. I mean, all these things that used to be are changing because the magnetic fields of the earth are changing greatly. One other word. I mean, I mentioned HAARP, HAARP. You need to know what that is. But CERN, ... between them. CERN, what it's doing, it creates a magnetic field 4 times stronger than the planet Earth. Oh, that's impossible. Well, read about it. Read what they're doing. Read what they're trying to do. It occupies 4 countries. So, and these people in politics and government, oh, well, we care about your medical. Do they really? Do they care about you buying a house? Really? How much taxes are they charging you for it? Where's all this money going? Not in our pockets, not in people's pockets, not helping children, not helping raped and abused women, not helping anything important. Well, we want better war machines. We want to be able to destroy the universe when we want to. So I hope you got something out of this, but you need to check these numbers. They're all real. I'm not making them up. I got no reason to. It makes me sick and makes me depressed and makes me think, wow, what a horrible planet we live on. And I'm only talking about the United States, and we're supposed to be the best, aren't we? The greatest. Really. I'm not saying China's any better. They're not. But realize, check out underground cities, what they're doing, what their plans with them are really, where the New World Order temple was actually built. It was built in the United States. All right, just do some research. Look for the truth. You're not going to get it from some stupid person out there saying, well, I know everything about aliens. I know everything about space. I know everything. They don't know nothing about space. They want you to believe it. And it's all based on what you believe, how you got here, why you're here. How many people even have a clue what that means? Listen to my shows. I'll keep you informed. I'll keep you up to date. I just got a show where I can bring up to 4 people on, 5 people on any given time live. So I hope this was a little bit beneficial, that you got something out of it. Because in the interim, we're all here. And while we're here, we're supposed to make what we do useful to all of us. Not just yourself. I mean, we're here for ourselves to get out of here. But in the interim, if you want to live in a garbage can, you live in a garbage can. If you want to live in a castle, you move into a castle. What we make of it is still up to us, what we allow to happen. But when you give away too many rights, you lose your rights, and then you cannot get them back. And we are just about there. I don't think we have enough people that care enough to change that. I mean, the right of free speech, we don't have it. And the right to be prejudiced, we don't have the right. We don't have rights because some idiot, rich person in power, well, I control you. You do what I tell you to do. You drive on a road at whatever they tell you can drive at. You go pay for your driver's license every year. How much money? The right to drive? I mean, even a sovereign citizen knows that you don't have to have a driver's license. Driver's license means a right to drive, okay? For transportation. If you're not transportating, you don't need a transportation driver's license. So there's so many little things that you don't know, don't care to know, don't want to know. And the government sure doesn't want you to know. So get back to Trump. Think about he's going to save mankind. He'll become president for another 4 years and we'll lose everything we have. In 4 years, the robots will be driving cars and planes. The workforce will deteriorate. It's going to start deteriorating every single year now. And in 10 years, we take a giant leap. So I say within 10 years, we're going to be in a totally different space and they won't need people. Walmarts are already converting to robots, do 90% of the work inside the stores now. Hawaii is going to be completely automatic by automated, whatever, by the end of next year. Are you ready for that? Robots loading the shelves. Everything's going to be on a computer when you check out. I mean, they'll have a few people in there. They got to make sure things are still running, all right? But what jobs are going to be available? If you're a farmer, wouldn't you rather have a robot going back and forth 24 hours day and night rather than paying somebody 10 days, 10 hours for 5 days? Think about it. We're losing our control of life and the freedom to sue happiness. I don't look for happiness. I realize what kind of a planet I'm on. I don't expect it to just appear around the planet. It's not going to. Jesus, Moses, Gandhi, all these people came, went, did things, tried to do things. People don't listen. People didn't listen to what Jesus was really teaching. Buddha had a part of the truth that he was trying to teach, and people only got a part of that. Buddha talked about reincarnation and he said they will stay. The lamas say they'll stay here until the last soul leaves. Leaves to go where? And where do you want to go to when you leave here? You have a clue? All these little things that aren't answered. Schooling does nothing to help a person become spiritually or aware, or a spiritually aware person. They don't want you to be that. Then you would realize what kind of a slave we are in the United States. It's not the black or red or Chinese. It's everybody. Everybody that gets an 8 to 5 job and has to work, has to pay all their taxes, has to worry about everything that we're doing. Imagine that. Well, no, you can go home and say, oh, this is all useless. Say I'm talking dopey. Believe whatever you want. The truth is out there. You need to go find it. So, I just wanted to get that in today. It's just been bugging me to death looking at what's happening, how these people are condemning and attacking each other. And you don't think Trump will attack the Republicans? He's going to be working with the Republicans to attack all the Democrats now. He'll do everything he can. And if they eliminate them, guess what? We will no longer be a democratic country. Well, it's up to you where we go from here. Are you ready? Go to a UFO conference and listen to how these aliens build temples. Big deal. Is it helping you today? Is it going to help you pay your rent? Is it going to help you get better if you get sick? Any of these things you hear and listen to, are they helping you in any way? If not, why not? Don't listen to it. Put on music. Go into meditation. It's at least something to help your mind be free of the garbage that's here. Even if it's for a little while. Don't give up your ways to take care of your children and your family. Do what you can. But even that, you can only go so far. So with that, tune in soon. Now, put this out there. Next Tuesday, I'm going to have Sergio Latina on my show. I might have another 2 guests or 1 guest with us as well. We'll get into the hardcore topics. And if you really are interested in which way we're going, what's really happened with aliens, government, and everything else, UFO world, please tune in. I'm not going to make it spiritual that day. I mean, I should, but it might go into it partially. If you could talk about Lucifer as being spiritual or Satan or any of that, oh no, that's evil. Everybody believes what they want, believe their program. Like you can't talk about religion, you can't talk about God. You can't talk about, what can you talk about with people? The weather? And it's always like, oh, the weather's pretty good today, isn't it? Then what? How about the government? What are they doing? Well, we can't talk about the government because everybody has their own viewpoint. Well, because everybody's programmed by somebody that doesn't have any viewpoint at all. Or the wrong viewpoint. With that, peace, love, compassion, whatever you need in your life. Hope it comes in. Hope you get it. Hope you're prepared to take a step. This was a short show. I got everything I really wanted to put out there right now. Listen to it again if you missed the numbers, or just go online. Type the numbers in. Type in the numbers about who's working for the government, how many people get paid working for the government, with what kind of salaries and things like that. Find the answers. People don't ask those questions because people don't think about it. When Trump says we created more jobs, more jobs in his office with people he liked? We are in a sad place. Think about it. It's not the beautiful rosy glass that you see. It's not. And it's time you look through the right color, the right glass, and see what it really is. All right, till next time. Next week, I might do another show before then, but Tuesday, tune in. Hawksblood 1, saying goodbye. Till next time.